Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Lee with Lee's Trees, and in this video we're going to be repotting our literati Japanese black pine, and this is the parent plant to the improbable tree where I took the cutting off of. I took the cutting from up there. This is my chosen front, around to the left side, to the back, pretty sparse of course, to the right side, and back to the front. And I have it just a standard little factory made pot there, nothing special. We're going to be repotting it into something a little bit bigger. And I repotted this year, I think this tree about 2 years ago. Did the candles on it last year, and then it got a lot of rain, and as you can see there's a few spots that aren't looking very healthy. And I'm not going to do much trimming because I can see there's like a little candle piece there. Hard to see if there's, I don't think there's one there, but I know that there's one there. Of course there's not there, but there's some sprouts there. So I might trim a few small pieces. We're going to get it out of this pot, get it into a bigger pot and some better soil. And this is also one of the trees that I had a lot of problems with the black slime mold on the top of the root base there. So that's one of the main reasons we're trying to repot it. So again, I'm going to reset the camera and zoom in a little bit, and we'll get started here in a few moments. And I've zoomed in a little. And as you can see, this little piece doesn't have anything, but it is green. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. This doesn't look like it has anything, but there's one tiny little leaf back there, but let's see. See, it still appears to be green. There's a tiny bud all the way back in there. So let's cut to that. And as I zoom in on this top piece, that looks a little dry, and it doesn't look like it has a candle piece like that does and that does. There's a tiny little stub on the bottom down here we will snip off. But I'm not sure if that's a green leaf right there, so just in case, let's snip that there in case a bud wants to form right where that one leaf is. So that's pretty much it for pruning, and I'm not going to put any wire on it. I don't want to stress it too much. And now we'll get to the repotting. All right, as you can see, of course, I've set up for the dirty work here. I'm not worried with my big container since this isn't a big tree. I do have this tied in. I'll cut the piece of wire there. Cut the piece of wire there. Slowly, carefully pull it out. Now when I put this in this pot, I used the drywall mesh for it to cover the drainage hole. And as you can see, the roots are growing through it, so I don't know if I'll be doing that again. We'll put some regular drainage screen in there. I know pines are somewhat slow growers, but I would have thought it would have had a lot more roots spread out into that soil after almost 2 years. And so that's part of the reason why I want to change out the soil and put it in something different, or something a little better quality. So again, we're going to be using the Akadama pumice and lava mixture. I purchased this tree in December of 2023 as just a little rooted cutting. I'll put a picture up here while I'm working on this. I'm teasing out the roots a bit there. So as you can see, there's a big funky bunch of roots right there. And I'm going to get rid of some of them. Cut that one and cut that one and try and leave the longer one. I know some people are going to be screaming at me about cutting roots on a pine. They don't like having their roots messed with, but it's going to have to happen at some point. So here I've got some roots coming out radially, and then some others that come out at a hard turn. So we'll come in and cut a couple of those. And that gets that coming around a little bit more radial. Oh, again, it looks like I've almost got two different root planes here, but because the tree is so small, I'm not going to worry with that at this moment. I don't know if I want to cut all that off and just leave that little bit of root. I don't know if it'd survive with all of that. So we're going to leave that as it is and get it cleaned out really well. I'm not seeing any other roots that are making like a hard turn the wrong direction. I'll take that little one off right there. Okay, just in case, we'll give it a quick little spritz of water. And let's get my pot set up to tie the tree in. This is just a factory pot. Take a moment, give it a quick look. So actually I think I might go with this as my front here. Looks like there's a little scrape on the back side there. Be careful I don't push the tree down in there too hard so that I end up burying it too deep. Hold on just a moment. Make sure and give this a dose of our mycorrhiza here. I think that'll be good there. Tighten my wire one little turn. That feels like it's pretty snug. Wonderful. And now, again, because we have what looks like the multiple root layers, I think I was able to get the soil around it pretty good as I was putting it in there, but of course we always want to chopstick our trees in. Now I wasn't really paying attention too much. I was more worried about getting the tree tied in. I do have it set almost to the right a little bit, just a tiny bit off center, but seeing as how most of the weight of the tree is over here, that's actually going to work out in our favor. So that was a happy little accident. Let me, just a moment. Just to make sure we get all the soil settled in around the roots really well. Work that in there, give it a twist. Get it good and packed in. Of course, we'll take this out, give it a really good water. Here in just a few moments after we give you a final spin. I think that'll work right there. And we'll see in just a moment. Here we are back with our Japanese black pine, our little literati. Again, this is our chosen front. To the left side. To the back. To the right side and back to the front. Okay, here we are a month later. I've brought the tree in to give it another quick turn. The candles are really starting to elongate. I'll move the tripod and zoom in on those a bit for you. They're looking really nice. And this is the front of the tree. To the right side. To the back, to the left side, back to the front. I did end up having to put another piece of wire on the back side of the tree to hold it tight. When I put it out on the bench after repotting, the wind was making it move too much, so I wanted to secure it in the pot better. And I also put some sphagnum moss as a top dressing on top of the bonsai soil there. But I just wanted to give you a quick update on it a month after we repotted it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.